Here you go.
Hi, what's happening, folks? We're on early for a change. Usually we're late because we have to convince the computer to log on. Yeah, we just finished eating real quick. And I just splashed some water on my face, kind of wake up. I've been down in Sacramento cruising around. And working in the hot sun. And I do want to talk about some couple things tonight. Once we get some folks on, she dropped the interview with Viking Fitness yesterday, I think, the first part, right? Yesterday. People seem to like it, and we'll get the rest of it up so you guys can see the rest of the interview. It has a real positive ending.
We got Mike B said, thank God it's drama-free in this neighborhood.
Yeah, drama-free, baby. Drama-free.
Wax on. He said, that's my dog pound.
What's up, Whack? We got the Hard Intentions Army starting to log in.
Jay's on from Fitness, from Viking Fitness.
All right, cool.
Everyone says, love your page, regular old dude.
Yeah, regular old dude.
I love your page, Mr. Hard Intentions. All I do is watch it. Wax said it must be nice to eat dinner. Whack, you know you ate dinner.
Oh, come on, Whack. You know you're getting that hot Mexican food. Come on now.
Wax wife is sending me some hot sauce.
Wax wife cooked up some hot sauce and should be here today, matter of fact, for us. And it says it's gonna fry our mouth, burn our lips off. We'll see.
Hi, Lady P. How are you? Kevin said, what's up? Mitch word.
Yeah, I also have obviously we have hardintentions.com where we sell our merchandise like t-shirts and whatnot. And I went over to the printer today and put in the order for all the hoodies, button-ups, and racerbacks and all that stuff. The Living Dead Girl. I did that when I got home. Hopefully they should be printed next week, and then we'll get them out. We always try to do things in a timely manner. My printer does everything by hand, so it does quality work though.
Process.
Yeah, it's a process.
Don't forget to talk about too. We got black and white masks, black masks now.
Yeah, we have black masks now.
So we have blue. Red,
we're getting some blue ones, some more blue ones made, and we have red ones. So we'll have red, black, and blue masks for folks. One of our Patreon guys ordered a couple masks, and then he got a hold of me, and he's like, at first it was a novelty, but now it's kind of necessary. So I'm glad we could help out there. We shot those out at the beginning of the week. I hope you got them. And I hope you like them.
Chase Money said, what's up, Mitch? Another Wednesday night. Oh, and I saw Jesse Meese said, hey, it's Jesse Meese.
Yeah, what's up, Jesse?
I found a new job. I like it better than my last one. Give me a shout out.
Good, Jesse.
Your shout out. I want one of your masks. My mom, Myra, says, hi. Hey, Jesse, your mom and I have this. Your mom and my mom have the same
my mother-in-law's name is Myra. So that's cool. I'm glad you found a good job. Good welder. You're always going to find work, brother. Our homeboy Turkey Loco down in Oceanside. Dago, I hope you find a new job soon. I don't know if you've logged in, but I'm going to have to send you a text and let you know we're on. Turkey Loco.
CDC survivor said, I had a shower shoe issue my first time. He says he loves your channel. We got Tim Stormont said, much love from Orange County. And Wax said, Dago dogs. Mm-hmm.
Dago dogs. Dago dog, the dog pound from Dago. I got to tell Turkey Loco we're on.
Do you see this, everybody? Welcome to my world.
She's always on me. She's on her phone more than me.
Okay, whatever.
I
am not. Jim F said, hey, Mitch, you're a cool dude. I build custom cabinets in Northern California.
Oh, really? I love building cabinets, man. I did it. I just like cutting wood, When I was in LA, I posted a thing for, I said, hey, this is what I know how to do and all my experiences from prison. And if you're willing to hire me, let me know. Well, guy gave me an interview. He had a real high-end cabinet shop in South Bay area, LA. Interviewed me, told me, hey, I read your case. I know about you. They told me his brother was a heroin addict and stuff, so he didn't have a problem with me and my criminal history. The problem was he needed someone with heavy assembly skills, and my skills are mostly some assembly, but mostly machinery, you know, cutting wood. I worked like, I remember working in PIA, we would cut 5 to 10 units of 1 1/8" particle board a day, you know, with a panel saw and inline saw and all kinds of, you know, it was, and we go through units of poplar for trim, and it was a blast. I love it. I done some custom work too when I was in milling cabinet, when I was in the carpenter shop. It was good stuff. Yeah. So you know, people, I have Instagram too, Mitch Smiley 790.
It's Mitch dot Smiley.
Yeah, Mitch dot Smiley
dot
790. It has a lot of stuff on there. Some of the work I was doing at the machine shop when I was grinding metal, and some of the work when I was down in LA, you know, busting up sidewalks with I was busting up sidewalks with a sledgehammer and a pry bar. You know, it was
those pictures are also on our website because our Instagram streams on our website. So
yeah, there was a youngster down there. I think he's Laotian or Cambodian. And he had a job doing this, you know, because the roots of these trees down there would pop the sidewalk up, sometimes a couple feet. So we'd bust the sidewalk out, dig the tree roots out, and then reform it. And then these Mexican crew would come and re-pour the sidewalk, man. And them dudes are like artists working that concrete. But yeah, I did that by hand, you know, busting my ass for $11 an hour. That's when I first got out. I mean, you know, money rules, man. You got to have money to live, pay the rent and all that shit. So, but yeah, I went to every cabinet shop I went in down there. I got turned away because I didn't speak Spanish. I think that was the deal. But now I'm up here, you know, I'm working. It's cool. I grind metal, but I got a little wood shop. It's outdoors, and I make the wooden toys and all that kind of stuff. I wonder if you can have an airplane. Have I shown them that yet?
yes, you have.
Yeah, I made little wooden toys and stuff. I used to do in prison. I made wooden toys like airplanes, Jeeps, all that kind of stuff, fire trucks. And how many folks we got on now?
We have 41 people on right now, and it's just not even 6 o'clock yet. And you know what? I just want to send a little message out to our friend James, aka Whack. I'm glad that you're okay, and I'm glad you're feeling better. You had a whole lot of love on Saturday, so we're gonna try to do that again Saturday.
Yeah, we might try to do another Saturday Night Live comedy hour with Mitch and Whack. That's Uncle Mitch and Cousin Whack. Yeah, yeah.
Hi, Roger Williams, our musician friend. How's it going?
Roger Williams is down in Texas. He's a guitar playing man, has a YouTube channel. Check him out.
Turk just came on.
What's up, Turkey Loco? Motion Side. You know, he's a plumber.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
In Southern California. Anybody need one?
And a Persian Gulf War veteran.
Mm-hmm.
My homeboy. Yes. And we have adopted him. He's officially our adopted
son.
There you go. She said it. You're officially in. Yeah.
Hey, Deb said, what's up, family? Hope you're all having a great week. Staying safe. Modesto, California, baby.
Yeah, stay down, Modesto.
Advanced Chino said, good evening, Mitch. Portland checking. So Virginus is from Schizophrenic says, buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Yeah.
We got Halifax, Canada. Josh McLean is in here.
We love Canada. Well, I got a book from a guy up in Canada. Yeah. Yeah. It's excellent. Oh yeah, give me that picture.
I will.
Yeah.
Really cool.
One of our
if I could find it.
I think it's up here. I think I beat you the punch.
You did.
Someone who watches our channel sent us a little surprise. He did a little drawing in my motorcycle.
Give us a shout out if you're on.
Yeah, give us a shout out. Say, yeah, that's me.
The really cool thing I learned about it, it has Mitch's little sticker on it, his little hard intention sticker on it.
He says, your friend, he said, give him a super alias. So, you know.
His name's on the back, babe.
I know, but he said to use an alias. He wants to, you know, keep on the down low.
What's his alias?
Skydiver.
Okay.
Because he does the skydiving. He flies airplanes and skydives, and yeah, it's just hope you like the drawing. Keep staying positive, enjoying life. Isn't that something? Guy did a pencil drawing of my bike, man. That's cool. Little pin in there, it looks like. It's pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah, he does the skydive. He's a young man. He's doing all kinds of positive stuff. He's doing wheelies and on his motorcycle and just having a blast, That was cool. Surprise, Yeah. But whenever I hear Modesto, man, I always think about Tracy. Because it's close to Modesto. There was a lot of cats there from Modesto. And yeah, it was always Tracy was a good pin. I liked it. I used to trip out, man, like it gets hot there in Tracy, man. And like the first tier showers were for black dudes, and then the second tier shower was Southern Mexicans and whites. And the third tier shower was Northern Mexicans, Most of the white dudes wouldn't go up there. And we'd come in off the yard, right? There'd be just everybody that comes off the yard, you got a few hundred people in there, like 300 people, something like that. They want to shower. And there'd be a big line outside the second tier shower. And there'd be like, 15, 20 Southsiders in the shower, just in and out, taking turns, bumping around. And, all the white dudes be on a tier pissing and moaning about, man, them guys bug-arted up the shower. They want, you got to shower because they're going to lock up soon after yard recall, right? And I just get in there and strip down butt naked and jump in the shower with them all, man. And I remember them, they'd be like, check Smiley out. He don't give a fuck. He's just straight up in here. That's right. Stay down. All them other guys, they'd clown them guys. They'd be like, all them other guys are out there crying. I go, yeah, I'd jump in there and shower with them. I didn't give a shit, That's prison, man. And if I didn't feel like doing that, I'd run up to the third tier and be like, hey, white man in the house, and I'd shower with the Northern Mexicans, which a lot of them other guys are scared to do, I guess. I don't know. I seemed like I was the only white guy that would run up to third tier and shower with the Northerners, man. But, I didn't mind. They didn't mind. So it was all good. Yeah.
Patrick says, hey, Mitch, respect from Copenhagen, Denmark.
Stay down, Denmark. Thank you. That's a long ways away. That's a great, yeah, wow. How's things over there?
Yeah, how are things? You know what? That's one of the things I wanted to check on. Is that obviously I can only speak for our area, but they're definitely loosening things up. I heard the restaurants are going to go on a coup on Friday and they're all going to open.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, like, how's that going where you are all from? We have a lot of Californians on here tonight.
Really?
See, he's pretending like he's not on his phone, but you guys all know.
I'm not on my phone. I'm looking at the camera.
You're
Yeah. Yeah. How's it, the COVID thing over there in Europe? A lot of these restaurants where we're at say they're going to open Friday, and there's a tattoo shop that's already open. I don't mind getting food as far as takeout, but I'm not going to any restaurants. They say that this coronavirus doesn't like the heat, and they're going to shut. It's going to, calm down in the summertime, like the flu virus, kind of. I hope it's hot enough to where that happens, because I don't want to see a bunch of people get sick, man. But I'm not going to take a lot of chances. I'm going to keep my distance. I went by a motorcycle shop yesterday after work, and
what? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. And the front's closed, so I went around the back, and a bunch of old school biker dudes, one of them's a Vietnam vet hanging out in there, and there was like 4 or 5 of them, right, standing around the circle talking, and they were all 6 feet apart in a big circle, like crossways and side to side, and hey, it was shaking, and the guy said, yeah, we're keeping our social distance, but that's cool. They're being safe, I'm going to stay that way. I mean, I have my job now. I go cruising around Sacramento, and, I put like, I don't know, 50 to 80 miles a day on my truck down there driving around these sites. And it's quite a deal. It's hot down there.
Patrick said slowly opening up. Patrick, where are you from? Slowly opening up by next week. They will open up restaurants and stuff like that. Tattoo shops are already open. Yeah, here too.
Yeah, here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh McLean, that's a bummer. He said, I'm a chef. I've been out of work since the beginning of March.
That's gotta suck.
Mitch and I got remarried on March 13th, Friday 13th, and we went on lockdown, like full lockdown. We were kind of on partial, and then 16th. We went full on 16th.
Yeah, we got remarried on the Friday the 13th. Yeah, that's a good luck day.
It is a good luck day.
Yeah.
So I know you had a couple questions. If you guys got any questions, let us know.
How many people are on?
We got 45 on right now.
Yeah.
Because people are used to us starting at 7, so we're kind of we always end up going on longer because when we're trying to get everybody, we try to go in early for the East Coast time.
Yeah.
And if anybody out there
who was the first guy on?
Thinks that I talk too much or they got something that they want to say, they can say it on here. It's really okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Speak your mind. This is America.
Speak your mind.
Freedom of speech. Who was the first guy on there tonight?
Okay, so I told
whoever the first guy on.
I told him I was going to send him a sticker.
Yeah, they get a sticker.
I told him to email you. So it was regular old dude from Linwood checking in. He was the first one on. So I asked him for his tip. So please email us your address.
Shoot us your address.
At mitch@hardintentions.com.
You got that? That's Mitch@hardintentions.com. You're the first guy on Wednesday Night Live. You get a sticker free. You know, it ain't a lot, but it's something, right?
Roger Williams said that's some kind of long honeymoon. We said this a long family visit.
And we were going to get remarried in the church. You know, we went down to the courthouse and got married, you know, and then bow tie barber showed up and her mom showed up and we needed to get copies of our marriage certificate and bow ties. Like, here, a wedding present for me, you know, and he had all his gear on. He's been working on his motorcycle. He was all greasy and stuff. So that was sweet, you know. And then, you know, we had this thing, so we haven't been able to do it in the church. To us, you know, the church wedding's the real deal. You know, the courthouse is legal and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully we'll be able to do it this summer, man. And we have a few people who want to come. So.
Hey, Tim Stormont, we're in Placerville. He said he feels like you're in the Auburn area. We're close.
Yeah, we're close. We've been to Auburn.
His dad and his family are in the Roseville, Lincoln area. That's pretty close.
Yeah. I go down to Roseville Road and pick up the trash around the portable hand washes and porta potties by the railroad tracks.
California Fire said, "Hey Mitch, I had a church wedding. That shit was expensive, yo. You might have done it better. Our church doesn't work like that.
Yeah, our church don't charge. We go to a Russian Orthodox church out here, so you know they don't. It's not get down like that.
South LA 213 got on here.
Stay down.
Let's see.
Stay down, LA. Yeah. We got folks on there. How many?
We have 53 on right now and 46 likes. Thanks, y'all, for hitting the like button.
So
it helps us.
Anyway, I'm from San Diego, you know, and like with motorcycle clubs and with white guys in prison, even all races in prison, man. You know, guys from San Diego, from Dago, are, you know, we're a little different. You know, we're a little rebellious, a little against the grain, always known for that, right? And so, you know, when I was in the county jail, I had a homeboy there. He was in a prison gang and he quit. And, you know, he didn't lock up. He stayed on the yard and then until he paroled. And he didn't really drop out because, like, dropouts are guys that go to the cops and raise their hand and testify and debrief. You know, he just quit, basically. He didn't drop out. He just quit. And I told him, man, I'm done. And he stayed on the yard. And, you know, guys try to get at him, you know, and he was a tough guy. And you know, he paroled alive. That was like 77. So that's when prison was still, you know, very tough. And I met him in 79 in the county jail when I was fighting my case, and he gave me a lot of advice. And, you know, he used to bang on his chest like, you know, I know, you know, and this little tattoo he had from when he was still in a gang. And you know, he'd give me a lot of advice, man. And I spent, you know, about 6 months with him in the county jail. And I get a message from him every once in a while. And then you know, in the 80s, he came back to prison, and I think he was in Soledad, it was. And, you know, he went out to the yard, man, and tossed a couple knives on the table with a white guy, saying, you guys got a problem, let's handle it right now. And they said, nah, man, we don't have a problem with you. And, you know, that basically they peed, you know, and he'd been back in and out, you know, out of prison. You know, he liked the dope, you know, he liked heroin. But you know, I don't know anyone that can say he really screwed him over like Dolphin fucked somebody over type stuff. He always did me right. And then I ran into him in the 80s, 96, 95 in Donovan. He came through, you know. And I remember there was a problem going on with white dudes on the yard. They were getting jumped on by Southsiders. So Southsiders wanted to go to the hole, so they would jump on white guys so they could get to the hole. And I was getting kind of pissed off about it. And no one really seemed to want to do anything about it. And so I went and told this guy, this homeboy of mine, and I said, hey, man, I'm tired of this bullshit, you know? And he goes, come on. Me and him and this other guy, this other older cat, you know, I got to remember this guy was in the pen in the 60s. And anyways, he went up to this shot caller dude, and he was like this, poked him in the chest and forehead. And he told me, if this shit happens again, I'm going to kill you. And that guy stepped back to, what'd you say? And he told me, if this happens again, I'm going to kill you. And it never happened again. And, you know, I know in the 60s, man, he got stabbed up by some guy from Oregon. Oregon State Pen used to send out of control inmates to California in the 60s and early 70s. And this guy was like a revolutionary. He ended up going to federal prison, and he was just a savage. But he stabbed this guy, this homeboy of mine, pretty bad. I heard he died 3 times on the operating table. And he had like 3 plugs in his lungs. He got stabbed like 27 times, you know. And that was him helping another guy that this dude was stabbing, and the guy he helped took off and ran and left him hanging. So, you know, he was a savage, man. He was a good dude. And so I heard he passed away. His name was Danny Dog Rollinson. And like him, hate him, love him, whatever. You know, he was true to what he was to the end, man. And I'm really kind of sad that I didn't get to see him out here in the world, because I saw him in prison several times, and you know, he passed away, man. He was you know, there's other guys that have him on their videos. There's a guy, he's a dropout from a Mexican gang, and he does, you know, prison information type videos, but he's got some stuff on Danny Dog. And you know, he was a stand-up dude, a one-of-a-kind Dago homeboy. So, you know, if you're into praying, pray for soul. His name was Danny Rollinson. And, you know, if you're not into any of that, just know that, you know, you can research him. You know, he wrote stories. It was in Penthouse magazine. People got pissed off at him. But
I'm
anyway.
sorry. I just need to make a little interruption.
Yeah.
Ryan Rains is on.
Oh, Ryan.
And he shows a little, you can't see it, but he shows little gas pumps on our channel. So
all right.
a little, yeah.
I got a cop to this. You know, the wife and I went for a ride out. What was that, Saturday or Sunday?
Yep.
And so we went and we got something to eat. Didn't we go to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we said, all right, we're going to take a little spin. And there's a side road that goes from out in the woods, through the woods, into Main Street area. And yeah, I ran out of gas. I can't.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said I ran out of gas. Yeah. And you know, we're sitting there alongside the road. I'm just like, man, I don't believe I ran out of gas.
I don't think Ryan's on anymore. I'm trying to answer him, but he's not on there, I don't think.
Yeah, and this guy pulls up in a truck, and he goes, hey, I'm Ryan Rains from YouTube, man. I watch your videos, man. What's going on? And I tell him, man, we got some gas coming. But what a trip, right? Someone who watches our channel just happened to pull up, and there he was offering us assistance. You know, we had someone bringing us some gas, but that kind of tripped me out, man. It was cool, huh?
It was cool.
You know, shook his hand. He was in his truck, and, you know, he's in the middle of the road. So But yeah, we chatted for a minute, and man, he's a cool guy. Just I mean, that was neat. That was really cool. It was embarrassing running out of gas in the middle of the woods,
That's
right?
true.
I got some looks too.
What?
No, I didn't say nothing.
I handled myself pretty well. I threw a little, because, really, we ended up kind of in a ditch when we ran out of gas. I mean, he pulled into the ditch very nicely, but all together we ended up in a ditch. He goes, I think you're running out of gas.
Yeah, we ran out of gas. Yeah.
So I just got a message that someone said that they tried to super chat us. We appreciate it, but I guess somehow I accidentally turned it off because I put on a pre-troll status.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Don't
We're
trip.
all good. So
yeah, we don't do this just for money, man. It's just we're just checking in, Wednesday night check-in, right?
Yep.
So don't trip. Yeah. And so I got another homeboy down in San Diego. I am from San Diego. I'm Dago, right? But also I'm from Lakeside, which is a small town outside of San Diego. And so Lakeside's pretty rough and tumble town when I grew up. It's by an Indian reservation. It's on the outskirts. People have horses, cows. They have Lakeside rodeo out there every year, right? And for entertainment, guys fight in the park on the weekends. When I was growing up. What's up? What's so funny?
Kelsey said, Mitch, you son of a ditch.
Son of a ditch. That's right.
That's awesome.
So I got a homeboy down there, man, who's a legend. And when we were kids, man, we thought these dudes were just, we looked up to them, man. And we all got love from these guys, this group of guys, in a motorcycle club. And they treated all the kids in the neighborhood good. But, this one guy in particular, man, he has the Lord of Lakeside. That's him. And, he's a legend, and he's a living legend, man. And he did some crazy things in the 70s, man, that take cojones. And if the homeboys are watching, they know who he is. I found out that he has cancer. He's had cancer for the last 3 years, man. And guy, I haven't had the opportunity to see him since I've been out of prison, and so that's another person, man, that I would like to meet before I, as an adult. But this man has cancer. He's had cancer for the last 3 years. So I just want to say, man, it just breaks my heart, man, because these two guys that I'm speaking of, Danny and this guy, they're legends, man, and they did things, man, that will never be done again because times are not the same. If you think back the way the 60s and 70s and early 80s were, it was a wild, wild west out here in California, on the streets with motorcycle guys and bikers, and in prison, man. And these guys lived through that, and they were, to me, they're giants, man. And I already miss Danny, just knowing that he's gone, and this other man, I'm really going to be sad if I can't get off parole and get down there and meet him before he dies. But just know that, from the heart, man, you're in my prayers. And yeah, so there are some guys from my town that are legends, and they're guys that we looked up to as kids, man, and now they're older men. I'm an older guy, and so yeah, it's just a pleasure to have grown up in a town with guys like that. Your influences that you have when you're young stick with you for a long time, man. And I mean, I partied for a lot of years, outside and in. And I think what kept me from becoming like a scumbag dope fiend, like 99% of all the guys that use dope, was these guys, these legends, these giants that, it was against the rules to shoot dope. and it's against the rules to burn people, and stuff like that. You don't mess around with your friends' old ladies, and that's some real simple rules, to live by, and it's kept me out of trouble for a long time, man, and kept me on the right track. And a lot of people make comments, like, you're a positive guy, you did 38 years, and you're doing the right thing, and you're a good dude, and all this. Well, it's not. My real dad was a piece of shit, man. So I mean, to be quite frankly, he was my stepdad. My real dad's a turd too. He ran off, and so my stepdad was a drunk and an abusive kind of guy. So I mean, the influence I had that kept me on the right track, even to this day, was the influences that I got as a kid from these guys that I looked up to. I mean, some of them I never even got to meet. I just see them, at certain places, and I hear things that they had to say, and a lot of them have passed away, man. And I just, they should know that, and like Danny, for my prison term before I went in, he gave me a lot of advice that kept me on track. Those guys need to know, man, that they influence people. And bottom line, I'm the person I am now in part because of them guys, I met guys in prison too that were, gravitated towards motorcycle riders, bikers. Those are the guys that influenced me when I was a young man in prison, So, it's quite a deal, man, to see some of these guys that are getting older and may pass away. It's a heartfelt thing, man. And you know what we say in prison, they used to always tell me, as long as you're talking about somebody, they're still alive. You keep people like this alive in your heart. So you guys interested in who some of these characters are, just do some research, about different things from San Diego, and you'll see who they are, and you can keep them alive in your conversation too, even if you don't know them, Any comments or questions?
Well, I don't know because I just got back in, so.
She stepped outside for a minute.
Let's see. Jack Weasel said, "I like this channel the best. Mitch, you're real as they come. These other clowns on YouTube are just trying to go back to the joint. I followed this. I blah blah blah. I'm not talking about those fools, so it's all good."
Yeah.
We say this channel's for big kids.
Yeah, this channel's for big kids, man. I'm still a big kid, right? I'm 58 going on 18, that's me. Yeah. You got to remain a kid at heart, man. Or otherwise, what do you got, right?
Yeah. So, the empty cabinet said, "When did the masks get shipped?" We shipped the masks right after, but if you order just masks, we send those right out. But if you guys ordered Living Dead Girl and other items like masks, we send it all at once. But if you need the mask, which we know some of you do, please feel free to email us at mitch@heartintentions.com. Let me know I need the mask now, and we will send you the mask.
Yeah, like if you ordered a Living Dead Girl shirt or anything like that.
Hi, Jackie.
And a mask, and you want the mask right away, send us an email at mitch@heartintentions.com, and we'll shoot it to you. But what we like to do is send everything at once. That way it doesn't confuse our bookkeeping,
Hey, South LA 213, we love you, so don't even trip. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we love South Central. We love. Hey, you're a homie, man.
Mark Encina said, "Is your biological father still around?" That's an interesting
story. You want to hear that story? Should I tell that story?
Tell that story.
My biological father's still around. I saw him like 2-3 times my whole life, and he never. He ran off and started another family. As far as child support, never saw a dime of that. My mom didn't, and money's a big thing with my mom. So before I get out of prison, now, by the way, my natural father's sister, my aunt, she loves me to death. I go see her, we text, talk, whatever. And she would write me in prison and stuff. So I wrote my dad, my natural father, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm getting out of prison. And I'm going to LA and this and that. And I told him about, some things I'm going to do and this and that. And I said, "Hey, I'm not asking you for shit. Basically, if you'd like to help me out, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. I'm just letting you know I'm getting out. You know, I figured he might be happy about that, right? And so I got found suitable, and I had to wait 150 days. Actually, I waited 123 days because the board gets to review it, then the governor gets to review it. So after, 60 days or so, they call me over. Sergeant tells me, "Hey, man, you got a family member? You know somebody named so-and-so?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Is that a family member?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Is that your dad?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "He wrote the prison." I go, "Really?" So what he did was he sent him a copy of the letter that I sent him, and he said that he didn't want me to have any contact with him. And so the sergeant goes, "Look, this has been deemed normal contact. You're not in any trouble, but you can't call him, write him, visit him, nothing. There's a no contact order." I was like, "Wow, all right." And the sergeant was just like shaking his head, like, dude, like he didn't believe it. And basically, what he was trying to do is keep me from getting out. I think his own messed up reality. I don't know what he was thinking. I told my aunt about it. She thought that was just messed up. So then about 120 something days, 119 days, whatever, a week before I get out, right? Like on a Thursday, they call me over, and now there's a captain. I'm on the phone. I'm Captain so and so. I go, "Yeah, all right, what's up?" He goes, "You know so and so?" I go, "Yeah, it's my dad." He goes, "When you get out, you're to have no contact with him." I said, "Well, I was already told that by the sergeant." And he goes, "Well, now he contacted the warden now. And so now I'm doing the warden's review, and I'm letting you know when you get out, you can't have any contact with this guy, so on and so forth." I said, "Yeah, I got you. Cool. It's all good." And then the next day they told me I was getting out the next Friday after that. So, yeah, that's my natural dad, my natural father, whatever you want to call him.
Louis said he's going to drop your podcast on May 13th. He did one with Mitch about 3 weeks ago. So he's going to send us the promo and we'll put it on. So good for you, Louis.
Yeah, Louis Max. He's got a podcast called Grind and Pivot. When the 13th, he's going to drop an interview he did with me. I don't know how to log into podcast, but I imagine you do. So we'll listen to it.
And Rancho, we're not offended by that. So I think Mitch would actually like to answer this question. If you don't want to, just tell me you don't want to answer it. Rancho says, I have a question. I don't mind if you delete it. We didn't delete it, but I'm curious. Mr. Watson says you have to carry your 128G at all times in your prison purse. Is that true? No offense. He's just curious.
So that means a 128G is an information chrono. I never showed mine to anyone, all right, unless I wanted to. I've been in prison a long time. Look, when I went to prison, all the clerks knew what you were in prison for when you went to R&R, because inmate clerks processed you in. And by the time this paperwork thing came around, I'd already been in prison, 15, 20 years. And I'm like, guys would be like, if they asked me for my paperwork, I'd say, bring yours. Show me your paperwork and I'll show you mine. And I'm not carrying no paperwork around in my butthole, right? These guys would stick their paperwork in their asshole when they get on a bus to transfer to another prison. What the fuck's that all about? You just like sticking shit in your butt or what? I don't know. That's not, I've seen guys do it. And I thought it was kind of weird because when you transfer to a new prison, you get your property within a week or so, unless there's something going on. If there's something going on in the yard, you're not coming out anyways to go get your property. So, if anyone ever asked me for my paperwork, I'd tell them, yeah, sure, go get yours and I'll show you mine. Show me yours.
So there's just a little chat going on here about those little kids that are, arguing back and forth. So we're not going to, unless Mitch wants to talk about it, but it's not something he's, the whole thing with, I'm not saying their names. I'm not even on that.
Guys that got beat up and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's funny stuff. It's hilarious.
I will give a shout out to Big Sid.
Yeah, Big Sid.
Who all of a sudden turned police officer in one of his videos.
Yeah.
And gave a rundown of what happened, and you got to watch that shit because it is funny. It is funny.
Yeah, if you want to know what's going on with that stuff, go see Big Sid.
Yeah,
he's got all the info on that. Officer what was it? Stankiewicz or whatever. Yeah. He had a police beanie on with a badge. It's a it's funny as hell. So, you know, I didn't know that guy was such a comedian, man, but he's funny. And he does a few episodes about this incident. So, you know, you might want to check that out. I don't give a lot of shout out stuff to other channels, but that's pretty funny stuff, man.
Oh shoot.
What?
Old School Bad Boy said, I'm a friend of Old School. He asked if I would sign on to update you. He was hospitalized with another stroke. He's well. We're trying to get him a tablet soon. Oh.
Yeah, man.
That sucks. Give him our best. Please tell him if he needs anything to email Mitch or call Mitch. Or, he's got Mitch's number.
He's got my number. Tell him if he needs anything, if he just wants to chat, whatever, man. You know, call me. So that's the guy who was going to do the interview with me, who was in the prison in New Mexico. He was in a prison riot down there. And he wants to get story out, you know, before he passes away. He's in bad health. We just heard right now, I guess, that he had a stroke. So another stroke. And he had told me on a telephone conversation that he ain't long for this world. So, you know, that's goes back to what I started with earlier. What?
James tried to say it was my fault that we ran out of gas. You know what? You've been talking to Mitch way too much. Wow.
Ran out of what?
He said it was my fault that we ran out of gas.
It was her fault.
Yeah, okay. You know what? No, it didn't happen.
Because I wanted to stop and well.
Okay.
Never mind.
All you ladies out there know he's full of shit. So we're just going to say that. Okay.
Hey, did I tell you what my homeboy said? Homeboy and Dago said that you have a really nice voice and a great laugh.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. What do you got to say about that?
I think that's amazing. That's super cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's super sweet. Hey, Fat Boy Sancho, Merry Christmas. It's always the one that says Merry Christmas to you. Merry
Christmas. Happy New Year, bro. Yeah. Hey, and you know, when I talk about stuff in prison, like Danny telling that guy, hey, you know, if this shit keeps up, you know, I'll kill you and all that. It's nothing personal, man, against any other group. It's just that's prison, man. If another race is picking on white dudes and you don't fucking stand up, it's just gonna keep happening. That's what that was about, man. You know, it stopped. They found another way to do whatever they figured they had to do. But you know, that's just how prison is.
We were doing a roll call, so we got Slick Ruler from Shasta.
Stay down, Slick Ruler.
Steve LaBarber said it's always the man's fault. That's what he said. Yeah, he said always the man's fault. Agony, Agony, yeah, his natural dad sucks for sure. Latonia is from Ohio. Skeeter's from Georgia. K-Dub's from Modesto. Josh McLean's from Halifax, Canada. We got Northern Calalipas on here. Canada. San Diego, California.
Stay down, Dago.
Yeah, Jason was like, Cali is deep tonight. There's a lot of California.
When Dago rides, everybody hides.
Atlanta, Bakersfield, Greensfield, Richmond, Santee, Michael's Auto Repair. Hi, Michael's Auto Repair.
What's up, Santee? Stay down.
Let's see. OG Scotty Blinks, Canada.
Yeah. This
Rico,
is a trip,
Maine from Memphis.
We hit people all over the world, man. Just blows me away.
Fat Boy Sancho from San Jose. All right, San Jose. That's where I came up here 2 years ago from there.
Yeah, she came up here from Cupertino.
Let's see, from the Bay, but Jonathan S. is in Quincy. I know that's by Lake Amador, which we love. So Bakersfield, Washington State.
You guys can see I've been working on this.
Colorado.
I got to get it done. With work, you know, painting's a little slow. But I did finish the last one, and then I'm working on this. So
you guys, we're going to do a poll pretty soon, and you guys gave us the idea to do it because I'm telling you, we have been cracking our asses off about the sayings that you want Mitch to put on a shirt. So these are the ones that are kind of up and running.
Yeah. Check it out, lame.
Check it out, lame.
A shirt. So check it out, lame.
Right? Or check this out.
Or check this out. I like check it out, lame.
We got Indiana, San Diego, Daniel.
So what
came from
about a
San
shirt
Diego.
with a like a back off hand? It said, "Check it out, lame. 6 feet," you know, or something like that.
PC said, "Shut up, Lane."
Yeah, shut up, lame, or back up, lame. 6 feet.
Double Down DC wants to know what's the new painting called. Do you have a name for it?
Oh, there's a T-shirt pattern I'm doing with another. I'm trying to get a collaboration going with somebody. So it's not really. It doesn't have a name. It's just it's a T-shirt design.
Latonia wants to know what color will go above the orange.
That's nothing. That's it. This is it. And then that's that. I gotta finish that. Only color in this is just the flames. Yeah.
Jude
Hopefully
Clown
it'll
World
come out
says,
right.
"Back off, Lane."
Yeah, back off, lame. 6 feet. With a fucking.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this coming from his wifey's point of view. So Mitch is a very not fun person to go to Walmart with because I just go in there because I want to get some like Lysol or whatever, and Mitch is like, "Did you see that motherfucker standing over there? He's not even like 1.5 feet. What the fuck? This is some bullshit."
Yeah.
Like
I told you I did that one guy. I come back the fuck up, lame. Yeah.
Rapper said, "I don't follow orders. They're on the shirt thing."
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'd have to have some design with it too. We want to do a simple shirt that we could sell cheap, and with a saying on there.
Yeah, Mitch at Walmart. We do go to Walmart because there's not much up here, peeps.
I love Walmart.
He does love Walmart.
I love it. They got all kinds of neat shit.
CDC Survivor said, "I want a shirt that says 'Back off or I'll stab you.'"
Yeah, back off or I'll stab. That's a good one. Yeah, 6 feet, lame, or I'll stab you. With a big bone crusher on there. Yeah. Yeah, we'll stab them prison style.
We're thinking about how they do like
wrap that strap up with
not
duct
the
tape.
3D, but you have the reverse color. Like if you have a black shirt and it's like in white.
Yeah.
On the graphics in white. I was like, Mitch, we should do one with like your beard and like a hat, like your black and white hat. Whatever would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
They're saying Mitch at Walmart would be a classic skit. Yo, James, Mr. AKA Whack, that is no skit because I have to live it. That's a real deal. It's a real deal.
I love Walmart.
So you know what, you guys? I will. The next time we go into Walmart, I'm going to bring a camera, and then you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. And
you know what? We went to
see that guy? Did you see that dude?
Yeah, we went to Big Bike Weekend in Reading to sell T-shirts. That was not very big bike weekend either. It was kind of mediocre. I sold 5 shirts a whole weekend, but they have a great Walmart. It's bigger than ours. We got a little puny one. Man, they got everything in that Walmart.
They do.
Everything. Food, man. I was like, ugh. I wish we had one like that in our town. I went in Winco for the first time, too. That place has all kinds of neat stuff. Cheap.
He's been...
Steaks, cheap.
He gets,
Yeah.
he got, so he bought carnitas from there.
It was thin, carnitas.
Yeah.
Pieces like this.
Yeah. So Mitch gets like he gets very excited when he sees a big package of like
meat
and it's cheap. So he automatically assumes it's good.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
That pork was good. Pork like that thick, pork chops. They were great. You didn't like them? She's not saying.
They were good.
I like to cook. Beats cooking in a plastic bag in a bucket with a stinger.
Go to Cash and Carry in Reading. I think we went there.
We might have.
I think we went there when we were there.
But we went to Walmart in Reading. Man, it's huge. Huh, Chewy? Huh?
Jack
we took Chewy in there, and Chewy peed on them. Chewy likes to piss on shit. So we're at Walmart in Reading, and she's like, "Babe," and I'm like, Chewy's got his leg up, pissing on stuff, pissing on the poles. Huh, Chewy? He likes to pee on shit. I let him. Why not?
Let's see. Longbeard says filet mignon and garlic shrimp. Yeah, I'm in.
Hey man, they got fillets at that store. What's that? Gross Out. $5, man. You get 2 fillets with bacon on them. Huh? And don't say you didn't like those. They were good.
They were good. MC said, "How often do you go to sleep and in your dreams you're in prison?"
Never.
You don't ever?
No, never.
That's awesome.
I don't sleep that well though.
He doesn't.
And like the other day, I woke up with a sore throat, and she's like, "Man, you were snoring like crazy." About once or twice a week, from total exhaustion, I'll just fall out and sleep. Next thing you know, it's breakfast. It's time to get up. I don't sleep well. I never have. Yeah.
My ex's little kid peed on the floor in the pharmacy. Steeler Barber said.
Yeah. Hey, they gotta go. They gotta go. Yeah, huh, Chewy? Chewy's a good dude, though, man.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you say
Come on,
hi,
buddy.
everybody?
I want to get back to here. Come on.
Rancho Chavez says, make a chef's apron that says, "Don't cook like a lame."
Yeah. No lames on the grill. Huh, Chewy?
Slick says, I won't eat Winco meat. So we've been kind of.
What's up with Winco meat?
It comes from freaking where they normally do. They send that shit to China and then send it back here. Yes. So Mitch doesn't like to do it, but there is a meat market. Yeah. It sounds so weird.
We got a butcher up here,
and they're amazing. They get their meat from the Midwest.
I go there sometimes.
So good.
They bring we got a butcher up here, and he brings cows from the Midwest, and he butchers them right here. I seen a video the other day of this Texas rancher crying about how they're making them slaughter all the cows that are market ready because all the butchering places are, they can't butcher the meat and all that. Number one, those are feedlot cows that are ready to be butchered, right? Feedlot cows suck, dude. If you want to, quit crying. Put your cows out in pasture, and no one's going to make you slaughter.
Old school bad boy's friend said, "You're a trip. Sounds like old school. You got my respect. Now I just need to get home to the wife. Just had to get some things for the old man." Is that your dad?
No.
Or for your friend? Whatever. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
P.S. You have a new fan. Have a good night.
Cool. Thank you. Excellent.
Take care of him and just make sure, like I said, if he needs anything or just to call Mitch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working all day, but I mean, he could call me if I'll just pull over and chat with him for a bit if he wants to chat. But
Jason, you're funny.
These guys, he's old school, man, and he was in the New Mexico riot. His story needs to be told, and he wants to tell it. So, older cats have been through the fire, man. That when I say those things can't happen again, that the time was right for those things at that time, and they'll never be that. Situations happen, and things happen, and then history moves forward, and that's in the past, and then those situations just don't happen the same, man. The generation now, they don't know about sacrificing, man. Like before I went to prison, I heard all the stories about guys that were in Soledad, San Quentin, in the 60s, mid to late 60s, early 70s. Man, them dudes were savages, man. And they didn't have TVs. They had little transistor radios, and then it went all the way up to like boom boxes and TVs in prison. Now, guess what? They got cleared TVs and little tiny radios that are equivalent of a transistor radio now. They let them take everything away that them dudes sacrificed for, man. And them dudes were killing to get that stuff in prison. I mean, it was just, it was just incredible thing and sacrifice. And the generation that's coming up now, they just don't have it. It's kind of sad, I just, I don't get it.
So, I thought this was funny because we were talking about meat, and Jason said, all my girlfriends get their meat from Memphis.
Jason, you're too much. Yeah, Jason's in Memphis down there in Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
And he builds motorcycle parts and motorcycles.
Jason Armad, Jason Irwin.
Yeah, Jason Irwin. He's a youngster, and I like it because he builds old school choppers, and he's a youngster. So at least in the biker community, there's a lot of youngsters building old school choppers, man, and that's cool stuff. I dig it. Yeah, keeping them traditions alive.
They want a picture of Chewy that says, "Back the fuck up, Blaine."
Chewy dog.
Would you like that, Chewy?
He's a good dog.
Bennett Williamson said, "Hey Mitch, greetings from London, UK. It's 2:42 a.m.
Wow.
We're just waiting for my 23-year-old son out at the end of the month after he done 8 years for drugs."
Oh wow.
Oh,
Well,
he's getting out. That's awesome.
8 years is quite a stretch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's
Good.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Best
he's
wishes
getting out.
there. Yeah, I'm glad he's getting out. And you know what? I don't know what kind of prison he's in over there in London, in England, but you know, he's gonna go through some changes, especially if he's a young man. So yeah, I don't know what to say.
I'm glad I ate first.
Just be there for him.
Because everyone in here is talking about food.
Are they?
Yeah, Danielle K said, ask Mitch about Black Canyon. I'm always afraid I'm going to say something.
Black's Canyon?
Black Canyon and the Devil's Punch Bowl.
Yeah, those are dirt bike riding spots and down by Dago. Black's Canyon, Devil's Punch Bowl. You know, San Diego, man, we had like, what, Marty Tripes, Marty Smith, all them dudes they were sponsored racers, man. They were all from San Diego. They used to ride out in all them places. Devil's Punch Bowl, Black's Canyon. I used to ride around just in Lakeside, all around Flynn Springs area, Rios Canyon, off Las Cochas Road. I live in a part of San Diego where it starts to turn into the desert hills and mountains and the hills. And we used to ride dirt bikes all through there, man. Yeah. There was a lot of sponsored riders that came out of Dago.
CEC Survivor said, in Santa Rita, dudes cry about the phone time instead of their freedom.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, guys got it twisted now in prison, you know.
DC said, I'm picking up my cousin this Friday after 22 years.
Oh, wow. That's a long stretch. 22 years is quite a ways, man. So, you know, I mean.
That's crazy. That's a long time.
Yeah, 22 years is a bit. I mean, I don't know what kind of advice to give. Just be there for him, you know, and ask him, you know, what he needs and how he's feeling. And, you know, don't, if he gets a little sideways, kind of don't be afraid to tell him, hey, you know, that don't fly out here.
You know, that was one of the things I actually really liked about the interview that Mitch did with Viking, Jay, is he's younger. And it was just kind of an interesting for me as a viewer to watch that, because I don't watch it until I edit it and then I watch it. And so it was kind of interesting to come from a different place. And plus, the way they treat people in Florida prisons, not they don't treat you as bad, you guys bad out here.
Yeah,
it just was.
You see the rest of the interview I did with Jay the Viking, you know, from Florida, man. They treat them guys pretty bad down there, and that would never fly out here in California, because one thing about California, man, is the races there. If it was as bad as like he says it is down there, there'd be some serious trouble. I think staff in California know there's a fine line that they tread on. If they go over that fine line, several things happen. One, now there's all these lawyers and prisoners' rights and all that. It used to be victims' rights had the power, and they kept guys like me in prison. You know, they protested our release because we had to go to the board. But now the pendulum swung a little bit. It's more even footing for guys in prison, and the prisoners' rights advocates, you know, the lawyers and stuff that do stuff for us, they've got a little bit of, so they would be all over it. And then, of course, like I said, if they treated guys out here the way they did in Florida, what he was talking about, there would be some serious violence, and some racial problems would go away overnight, because, excuse me, things like that affect all races out here. And, you know, the bottom line, man, the racial stuff in prison is usually just drug politics.
Let's see.
And
we got some questions. Thank you, Jason, for asking. South LA 213 said, Mitch, do you remember which LA barrio was the deepest back when you were in Nellis?
You know, that I think they were all fairly even, but I remember guys from Pico Nuevo and Pico Rivera. They had guys from Hazard. There was quite a few guys from 18th Street there. Yeah, but it was kind of a mix, really. Like different units had different guys. Like the unit I lived on, we had some guys from Pico Nuevo. I don't think they got along with guys from Pico Rivera that were in another unit. And Hazard didn't get along with somebody. I forgot who they didn't get along with, but it was a trip, because in Nellis and Youth Authority, we would go to the movie theater and watch a movie on the big screen, just like on the street. But it was a huge theater. It was a righteous theater, man. They had benches, you know, seats, just like a movie theater. And about halfway through the movie, man, some guy would stand up and say his neighborhood, you know, and then the other guy in my unit would be like, "Yeah, fuck you," and they'd rush each other and fight. It was crazy, man. So I got to watch about half the movie all the time, you know, and then I got to watch the get down. But yeah, and then there was I mentioned Freddie. He was from El Monte Flores, and yeah, it was a pretty even bag, and for the most part they got along. But
Hey, Jay. So you know what? Mitch has been wanting to tell this story for a little bit, and I don't think he has on his channel. I don't think he has, but Jay's been pretty consistent about asking the same question. I don't think you've ever answered it.
What?
So, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. But it's a good thing to ask. He said, "Can you please ask Mitch how Jewish folks got treated in the pen?"
I mentioned stuff like that before.
Well, you might want to talk about your friend that like helped you out.
Yeah, and I brought this up before. Like Jewish guys in the pen, a lot of them kind of run with their own crew. Like early in the early '80s in San Quentin, there was a little Jewish car. But they hey, look, man, they have their own services. They have kosher meals, and the food is so bad in prison now that a lot of white dudes and black dudes start going to Jewish services so they can get kosher food, and some of them take it serious. I had a friend, I won't say his name, Joe, but he worked in the kitchen. He used to bring me bags of food, like trail mix and stuff like that, fruit, and then I would pay him, for with canteen. And I got this pork pouches of pork meat in my package, and I went to Joe's cell and I tossed a pouch of pork on his bed. And I seen him later. I go, "Hey, did you get that pouch I threw on your bed for that stuff you gave me?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got it." But it was just my way of messing with him. But I had a cellie that was Jewish there in Soledad, man. When I got valley fever, and they moved me into his cell, and he let me have the bottom bunk. And a lot of guys didn't like him, but he was all right. He was just kind of a high-strung dude. He was a big dude, and we got along all right. But I was sick, man. I had valley fever, and I've been to sick call. Like I was coughing a lot. I had a fever, and I wasn't eating. I was giving him my trays, and uh, he was like, "Man, what's wrong?" And I said, "Dude, I've been to sick call like 3 times. They give me cough syrup, and when you go to sick call, you got to see a nurse, and then she decides if you see a doctor or not." And I said, "Look, man, I got a lung infection. I don't have a cold. I don't need cough syrup. I need to see a fucking doctor." And so after about a month, we were locked down because someone dropped a kite saying they were going to kill somebody, which is a PC move. But anyways, they came by with the trays and gave us our trays and shit. And then they come by and collect the trays. They crack your door and you slide the tray out. This is a level 2, so it's kind of lax. Even lockdowns are lax. But he slid the tray out and he walked out on the tier and he goes, "I'm not locking up until you take care of my cellie." And the cop's like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "If you don't take care of my cellie, he's going to die. And I'm not locking up until you do something for him." And he said, the cop sent me down to sick call, man, that night. And, literally they weren't not going to see me. And they would have just let me lay up in that cell. Look, I lost 60 pounds in 2 months. That's how sick I was. And hell, I wouldn't mind losing 60 pounds now. But, so he saved my ass, and I went down to sick call that night, and they had an older Mexican lady who was a nurse, and she goes, "I can tell something's wrong with you." And she took my temperature, I had a little fever and shit, and she gave me a pass to come down there the next day. Next day I went down there. I had a temperature like 103.5, and they took x-ray of my lungs, and they freaked out. And yeah, I had valley fever. They sent me out to Natividad Hospital in Salinas. But yeah, he saved my life, man. Jewish cat, right? So, but I used to see him in the chow hall, and I'd go, "Shalom," and he'd go, "Yeah," he'd be with his buddy. He goes, "My friends really don't like it when you do that." I said, "Hey, fuck them dudes. You're my friend. Fuck what they like or don't like. The guy was my buddy, man. He was my friend, and I don't know where he's at now. I think he should be getting out pretty soon. But then there was another guy, John. I knew him a couple different pins. Last time I saw him, he was in San Quentin, and he wore his prayer shawl all the time, his little hat, and that dude was serious about it, man. He prayed all the time, did his Jewish services. He's serious. He got out and he's doing well. He was a tough guy too. He was a little skinny dude, but he knew karate. That's what got him a case. Any questions?
Let's see. Yeah, Jason Weasel said, well, it's a mortgage statement. Jason said, yeah, I was in Graham, then went to Taylorville. I thought of doing a story on Taylorville. Was the most ass backwards joint I was ever in. Let's see. Yeah, that's another. Slick Rulers, that's another idea for a shirt. Hey, fuck them dudes.
Yeah, hey, fuck them dudes with a big knife.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Tim Storman said the Orange County GI worked in the kitchen, and man, there was their kosher bag lunches are straight.
Yeah. They fought for that. And see, that's another thing I'm telling you about. Them Jewish cats in prison, like, oh, they get a kosher meal and all that shit. They didn't get a kosher meal for a long time. They fought for that shit, and they got it. And then everybody wants to ride on their coattails. Hey, Whack, what about Chief Scared to Be White? Yeah, that's another thing. Like I talked about dudes like some of my homeboys from Dago that are, one that passed away, another one's sick. They were stand-up men, and I've seen guys in prison, man, face adversity like you wouldn't believe, man, and just stand tall. Me, I'm just a regular dude. I'm just a regular dude, man. But there'd be white dudes like in Lancaster prison. The white dudes used to go to the sweat lodge and sweat with the Native Americans. That kind of pissed me off because, I was in Corcoran, a couple other prisons where they didn't allow that. At best, you might be able to say, hey, I'm interested in that, and I'd like to check it out, and I'll let you go one time and then leave. And they probably make the sweat so hot you puke all over yourself. But in Lancaster, they had these white dudes that would say, oh, I'm 1/16th of a 32nd of a 64th of Cherokee. It's always Cherokee, and they had swastikas and Vikings tattooed on them, They're going to Sweat Lodge, and so I call them Chief Scared to Be White. I'd be like, hey, where's Chief Scared to Be White at, Yeah.
Wax said, them dudes are straight lanes hiding behind those Indians.
Yeah,
You know what Turk just said? If you lost 50 pounds, you wouldn't run out of gas so fast on your bike.
Oh, really?
I said, wow.
What are you trying to say?
Wow. That's fucked up.
When I sit on that dyno, man, my homeboy said it makes the bike look kind of small. Yeah, I do need to lose about 50 pounds. Yeah. If the gym wasn't closed, I could have been over there working out.
You're not going to blame it on me this time? No?
It is your fault, though.
Okay. All right, then.
Yeah, because when we were out eating, it's like, I need to get gas. And she's like, let's just go for a ride. Yeah. And she made me buy dinner.
805 said, what do you call 100 white guys in a room?
I don't know.
Full-blooded Cherokee.
Full-blooded Cherokee. That's right.
Slick said, you need a bagger. I know someone.
I just don't have the money.
Also, Slick said his brother loved the painting.
Oh, really? Excellent. Excellent. So that's, Slick. I did the painting for her, the white motorcycle. Guy with hands up says brother liked it. That's cool. That's good. That's the result that I shoot for when I do a painting for somebody,
CDC Survivor said in DBI reception gym, the Indians shared the TV benches with the whites. It was weird.
Yeah, Indians hung out with white dudes, I remember sitting on the yard with this Indian, Jimmy came from Pelican Bay, and he's like, man, I feel bad being here, and I should be up with the homies. And I said, shit, enjoy it, brother. And a lot of them dudes, Native Americans, were cool. Like in Corcoran, my cellie worked in the kitchen. He'd bring home bags of oranges and bags of sugar. And I had some nice containers, and I gave them to these Indians down at Tier. And they'd make the wine, make like 4 or 5 gallons of wine every Friday night. Man, they'd cut it and they'd strain it off, give us 2 gallons, 2.5 gallons. And they get plowed and we get plowed, in the cell. It was a blast, man. I met a lot of good Native Americans in prison, man. Good, most of them are good dudes.
Chavez said, do you know a guy named Ernie Martinez from Maravilla. He was a lifer.
Ernie Martinez. I don't know. From Maravilla? Yeah, I don't remember. I did know a dude named Ernie up in Lancaster, but he had life without, and he was a paisa.
So Jack said,
"Oh, Ernie in Corcoran. There was an Ernie in Corcoran, man. If it's the same dude, he was a tall guy, kind of thin, and we used to play handball. That's the only Ernie I really remember. And if that's him, let me know. But yeah, he made me handball glove because we played small ball."
Jack asked a question. And it's funny, Jack, that you asked that because it's the first time I heard that was from Jay from Viking.
What?
He said, "So is there any such thing as a neutron in Cali prisons ever, or is that just a Midwest and East Coast thing?"
What's neutron? That's neutral. A neutral guy.
Neutral? I think that's what that means.
They don't call them neutrons, but they got, that was me. I'm a neutral guy. I wasn't affiliated with nobody.
Schizo, I don't know if that's Schizo said, "Hey Jack, the homies in Cali, you can't run neutral.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can.
You choose a car and you roll with it."
Yeah, you choose a car and roll with it, but that doesn't mean you have to be affiliated with a prison gang or a street gang or, I'm a biker, man. So I ran with other bikers. I didn't give a fuck where they're from. I knew a lot of guys out of Sacramento when I was in Tracy that were motorcycle outlaws and, San Quentin and all over, man. That's who I kicked it with. I mean, there weren't no bikers on the yard. Then I'd gravitate just towards my homeboys from Dago and whatever, you get a car, that doesn't mean it's a gang, it doesn't, you're still a neutral guy. You're not affiliated, right? And that doesn't mean when the shit goes down, you're not going to be there. You're still going to be there. That's what I mean. If you weren't going to be there, you wouldn't be on the yard. Dudes would run you off.
South LA 213 said Maravilla's got a lot of heart. And I remember when they had the green light in the 90s, got smashed on a lot. Also, the 18th Street and County Jail.
Yeah, Maravilla guys, a lot of them dudes are pretty damn tough.
One of the questions I saw earlier, I'm sorry, I don't remember who asked it, said, "Do bikers have much game left in prison these days?"
California prisons, there aren't hardly any motorcycle outlaws left. To be honest with you, I hate to say it, but on one hand, I hate to say it. On the other hand, I'm kind of proud because, it means that guys that ride motorcycles, they're in the motorcycle culture, whether they're in the club or they're independent guys or just, Harley riding outlaw type guys. They're not in California prisons anymore. A lot of them go to the feds, but it's on one hand, it was kind of sad because I didn't really have anyone to fucking run with, but on the other hand, I'm kind of glad they're not going to prison. It's a good thing. When I went to prison, and I told this guy that's actually a friend of hers in the Bay Area. I said, he was kind of had a question about me talking about someone from a different motorcycle club. And I said, look, man, in prison, white dudes in there, they don't really like bikers because we do our own thing. We're about freedom. We're about getting out of prison. We will stand up for each other and we'll get down with the whites and all that shit, but they don't dig us. So you would have the guys from, 3 or 4 different motorcycle clubs all in the same pen, and they would like, hey, what's up? What's up? And I mean, they're not trying to trade up sides or nothing. It's just a mutual respect that, hey, we're all motorcycle guys, and it was kind of nice. Every now and then they clown each other. And I remember one time we're out in the yard and we're doing them programs. In fact, I flooded the yard, the grass with water. And I was out there sliding in it and smoking weed. And I got some of them guys, they all kind of gravitated out there drinking sodas and smoking weed. And next thing you know, I got a couple of these real serious dudes slipping, sliding in the grass. And, we're just out in the hot sun, man, getting wet and having fun, and there was guys from a couple different bike clubs and guys that just hung out with guys, that were bikers. And I mean, those are good times. And I hate to say it, but, you're in prison, you're doing life sentence, you're doing long-term. So you find ways to have a good time with each other, man. You build camaraderie. And it's not like, I hate to say it, man, but like certain things in there, like gangs in there, there's no camaraderie. It's just it's a farce for the most part. There might have been at one time, but with us, it was a true camaraderie,
The Gate said a lot of the 1%ers are going straight to the feds.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, especially 1%er guys, they go right to the feds. The feds try to nab them, and for some reason they got a hatred for guys that love freedom. Yeah. Any other comments or questions?
Let's see. Mitch, did you ever come across? I like his handles. If the car is rolling, you ain't getting out. Mitch, did you ever come across Lawrence Singleton in San Quentin, the guy who cut the young girls' arms off?
No. That dude was in PC, and the thing with that guy Lawrence Singleton, that happened right before I got busted, I think. And they only gave him like 8 years or some shit, so he didn't have a life sentence. Yeah, it was at a time when guys could get away with shit like that and get hardly no time. And I don't know. I think there was like a lot of smut on the victim. They tried to say she was a hooker and all this. So he got a very short amount of time, and he got out, and then he ended up going to Florida and doing it again. And
that's nasty.
Yeah, I mean, if that dude would have been on the main line, they would have murdered that dude. So.
Any more questions? I'm trying to catch them. I'm trying to go back and look at them. They're just talking about pig iron right now, and just pig iron. And, yeah.
Since the gyms are closed, I was thinking about going on offer up, maybe get some weights for the yard out here.
We need to.
Because I started going to the gym. Like I said, I broke my arm in January. What was that? 19?
Yeah.
Or 18?
18, I think.
Yeah. So I broke my arm. I actually got a bunch of metal in here, and it didn't just break. It like splintered, So after it healed up, I started going back to the gym, and then boom, they closed the gym.
So,
yeah.
Ryan, I just want to thank you. I know Mitch already did, but that was just super cool running into you and you asking to help us out. That was super cool.
That was cool to meet you.
He just got a bike.
Oh, you did?
He said, let's go for a ride.
Let's go for a ride. I'm on down with it, man. Bowtie's got a bike, the barber, and then Ace that works at the barber shop. She's got a bunch of guys up here getting bikes, man. It's just super cool. Yeah, let's go for a ride. Mitch at hardintentions.com. Shoot us an email. We'll go for a ride. I'm down for it.
Yeah, shoot us your email and then we'll give you Mitch's number and then you can call us.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What kind of bike you get?
He said, but I can't remember. Ryan, what kind of bike did you get? Turk is not going to let you live this down. He said, don't run out of gas.
I won't run out of. I've never ran out of gas.
He is full of.
I rode up here from Los Angeles. Man, it was a nice ride. I didn't run out of gas. I don't run out of gas.
Hey Jay, there's really not much to say. He's said it like a couple times. Jay's like, we all will still want to hear about Manson one of these days. Yeah. He sounds like he was a weasel. Still want to hear it. There's only he has. Well, I'm gonna let you say.
Manson was just a dude,
Let's see.
Just a guy manipulated a bunch of hippies.
Yeah.
With LSD and Buddha,
and a lot
yoga.
Of people think he was there during that crime. That he was at the crime when that was going on.
No, he wasn't.
Like a lot of people think that he wasn't.
Here's the deal with Manson.
Hold on. Yeah, Whack. You like to think so.
What?
Just keep going.
So Manson, Bobby Boozley killed somebody, and they wrote on the wall with blood or some shit. That crazy but Susan Atkins. So they thought if they went out and whacked some more people and wrote on the walls with blood, that they would think the guy that killed that guy was still out there doing it, and they would let Bobby out of jail. That's the whole premises behind what they did. And Charlie wasn't there. It was a group decision. That book, Helter Skelter, is all bullshit. But, that doesn't mean Charlie was a great guy. He was a little fucking rodent. He studied yoga, Buddhism, all that other crap while he was in jail. He was state raised. He got out, bunch of hippies, woohoo, LSD, woo, all that shit. And he manipulated them into his own little cult. So that's basically Charlie's whole story in a nutshell. It's really, I don't know, it's not worth talking about. He was kind of a joke.
Somebody asked, our friend Roger, the musician, asked, did anyone ever try to take Ed Kemper out? So
I don't know.
I'm not gonna. I just want to say, I you guys have all heard this before, but I told you if you want me to tell it again, I will. But Mitch introduced me to him while I was there on a visit, and Kemper was there, which was hella crazy. Wax said Charlie was the first white Crip.
Yeah, Charlie was first. That's funny shit. That's funny shit, man. Yeah. You know, prison's not like it was when I went in. It's not, you know, the first 15 years of prison was okay to, you know, I mean, it wasn't great being in prison doing life sentence, but towards the middle end of it just fucked up, man. I mean, nothing meant nothing to none of them guys in there, and except getting loaded. Not, you know, I was talking to somebody today, a homeboy says, you know, I'm not into hanging out with fucking drug addicts, and that's pretty much all prison is now is drug addicts. Not, you know, I'm not slamming on every single person in prison. Don't get me wrong, but the majority of them guys in there, they live to get loaded. That's their whole deal, and you know, if there's a dope sack in it, they'll go out and whack somebody. No problem. They'll go out and poke holes in somebody and maybe kill them, or maybe try to kill them if there's a dope sack in it. And to me, uh, you know, I'm not down with that shit. Prison sucks now, you know, and it just, it really does. And the last, you know, 10 or 15 years of my term was the worst, man, because a lot of them cats in there don't have no respect for tradition either. And yeah, guys trying to tell people how to live in there and trying to stick their nose in everybody's business. And a couple times I had to, you know, make a piece and let people know, hey, man, you know, I will stab your fucking ass. And I don't like that shit. I don't like going there. You know, that kind of stuff to me is should be only if it's like serious, you know.
Daniel
So,
K said, "How far back does the LSG Lakeside gangsters go? I met a couple since I moved to Ramona. They're all dope fiends, though?"
yeah.
Question mark.
You know, I'm from Lakeside. I'm not a Lakeside gangster. There was no such thing when I was on the street and it got busted in '79. I got busted April '79. There was no such thing. And some of the guys I grew up with started that. And, you know, I met guys that aren't even from Lakeside, claim to be Lakeside gangsters. I met some of them that are cool. Well, yeah, a lot of them were drug addicts, you know. Lakeside's a little town outside of in San Diego, out on the outskirts of town, man. Like I said, there's an Indian reservation there, and it's a small country type town, and you know, trailer park trash, right? White trash, beautiful.
MC said, "Are they so obsessed with drugs because they can't handle being in prison sober?"
Um, these are guys that are obsessed with drugs on the street too, and that's probably what brought them there. And you know, it's just fucked up, man. They've had no guidance. You know, maybe their parents used drugs. Who knows? I don't know. You know, you got to understand, like, when I used to snort crank and smoke weed and all that shit, it was made here. You know, motorcycle outlaws made it, to be honest with you, and or guys that they knew would make it and then they'd sell it and like it didn't, you know, you could stay up for a week, 2 weeks, come down, sleep, eat, boom, you're cool. But all this shit that they're making it out of now is turning these guys into psychotics. You know, really. I mean, all they live for is to get loaded. So it's a sad deal.
NT said, "Yo, Mitch, Nicholas from San Rafael. I just bought 4 of your shirts and a sticker. Fuck yeah, that's
Fuck
cool.
yeah.
Thank you. That's
Nicholas.
awesome." Oh, Basha from
Thank you.
Mexico just got on. He said, "Well, I'm late."
We love Mexico.
Hi, Basha. How's it going?
Yeah. You know,
You've been asked this before, but Tim wants to know, what was the worst prison you were in, basically?
That's hard to say. You know, I mean, San Quentin was probably the most violent in the early '80s. Worst prison was Lancaster because there was some violence and there was almost no white dudes, and the food sucked, and the program sucked, and you know the cops were assholes, most of them. Yeah, Lancaster was the shittiest prison I've been in. Yeah, surprisingly, Old Corcoran was probably one of the better prisons I've been in, and everyone's like, Corcoran, oh my God, you know, the FBI was there. There's a lot of violence in the shoe and all that shit. But I was on the main line there, 96, 97, 98. And you know what? They fed us great. We were still getting half a chicken. If they didn't have half a chicken, they'd have banquet chicken. And, you know, they still had a bakery making good stuff. Old Corcoran was cool. The yard was full. It was split down the middle. I could run out to the yard all day long. It was great. They had a camera on the yard. They tried to leave the weights there, but Sacramento ended up making them take them. They had big time industry. It was good pin.
These guys are all talking about crank now. So they're talking about Rosebud, and they're talking about Lemon Drop and Biker Crank and all of that stuff that used to be super fun.
Yeah. I remember one time I had a celly man from Oakland, and he was he got busted in 1971. I got busted in 79. So he was about 10 years older than me. Maybe a little more, right? Dirty Dennis.
Yes.
And he grew up around Motorcycle Club over there in Oakland, and but he ended up with a double murder. Some guys tried to rob him in a drug deal, and he shot him, killed him, and we were cellies, man. And I remember he goes, "Hey, you want to go a year clean?" I go, "Sure, let's go a year clean. We'll work out all that shit." And then his old lady told one of the fellas over there that he wanted, and we're going to Dennis do a year clean, and so about a week later, man, he pops in with an ounce of crank, and he goes, Irish said, if he wants to do a year clean, there must be something wrong with him. Here, give him this. But we made a lot of money. Look, it was for making money and having fun. And this is a deal that they told me as a kid. If you're not making money, you're not having fun, and you're still messing with it, then you're just a fucking dope fiend like all the rest of them. And so we made money and we had fun, and we used to stay up 2-3 weeks straight, man, and they're in prison, and things he taught me was like, you got to act normal. You got to maintain your normal program. Same thing you do when you're not loaded, you got to do when you're loaded. So it was fun, man.
I could never tell the difference either. So
yeah, she didn't know if I was high or not.
Yeah, I had no idea. Anyways,
we did that for 2.5 years straight. That one shot turned into a 2.5-year party. It was a blast. And when I met her,
the only way I can really tell is that if I would come out there and he would have he had always had polarized glasses, so they would get dark, in the sun. And I'd be like, "What's the matter?" He'd be just, "I'm tired." Whatever, and then he was like a little uppity, you know what I mean? So, yeah, nice shirt. I was like, "I wore this shirt last time. What's the matter?"
When we got married, I went out there drunk. We drank 3 gallons of wine, smoked 4 or 5 joints, and I went out there, and my friends went out there to the corner. There was these dudes in the corner like, "Hey, you guys got to move. We're having a wedding out here today." Then I came out, and I gave her a hug and shit. And she goes, "You're drunk." And I go, "Yeah."
I didn't even go intoxicated. And then the only way I could tell was that I was like, we were cutting the cake. We'll show you guys pictures later, but I was cutting the cake, or we were cutting the cake. Yes, the bakery, they made us a cake, a big one. Yeah.
I had that done.
Yeah, he did.
It was like 3 tiers or something.
And he was leaning. I'm 5'2". And so he was literally leaning, his whole body weight behind me as we were cutting the cake. I was like, "Dude, what is wrong with you?"
She's like, "You're drunk." I gave the guy in the bakery a $20 paper speed, and he made a big ass wedding cake. And then another guy made a motorcycle, a Harley motor out of icing on the bottom layer. And the guy comes pushing this food cart out in the visiting room with his cake in there. And cop's like, "Man, what's that? What's that?" He goes, "Oh, there's a wedding out here today. My boss had me make this cake."
It was good too.
Hey, it was kind of dry. She gave all the kids in the visiting room cake. It was funny. That cop's like, "What the fuck's this?" Hey, there was a time in prison you could buy family visits from the clerk. You could buy anything you wanted, man.
We've been on for like an hour and a half.
Been on for an hour and a half.
I think we're going to go. I think, we went on kind of early tonight, but I think really for us, 6:30 is going to be optimal, because 6 is a little hard because I'm trying to jam getting home from work.
Yeah.
And then people are used to starting at 7, so they don't sign on until 7. So we'll meet in the middle. So we'll just keep it at 6:30.
Yeah, she has a bone out from work early, and then we got to eat real quick. She brought some stuff from work.
They're talking about it actually is kind of funny. They're talking about, do they still let people wear jeans?
No.
And they're talking about how those jackets would basically are like armor. Do you mean so, you know?
Oh.
Are you gonna?
No.
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's see. There used to be a wear your own clothes.
Wax said, "Don't run out of gas." Yeah. You mean when it's Mitch's fault that we ran out of gas? You know, right? Like that.
See, that's when I got married. That's when we got married. I don't know if they can see that. Can they see that?
He wore his He's got a flannel on, and he has.
That's a Pendleton.
Hey, don't move it as much, baby. Just hold it up.
I got a red and white Pendleton on, Levi's, all that. You know, you can wear your own clothes in prison. I had 3 Pendletons like that, and then when I went back to San Quentin in 1988, they're like, you can't have these.
Turk, you're super funny, ha ha. Like
What'd he
not
say?
just funny, but funny, ha ha.
He knows it's your fault. Yeah, they said you can either send them home, or that's when they started taking your personal clothes, you know, your colored stuff, and you know, it was
crazy.
They said they didn't want guys escaping with personal clothes on. Well, here's the deal: if you can't stop me from getting over that wall and running off, whether or not I got personal clothes on or not, it's not going to make a difference, right? That Pendleton wasn't going to make me fly over that wall.
Everyone thought Pendleton, that's what's that.
Yeah, they were the shit.
All right, you guys, thank you. Mitch is a little tired because he actually worked all day today. He's worked all week this week. So I
worked last week and this week so far. So I had to pull up 8 bags of trash today in my boss's murder van. I work for Forensic Clean. It's a crime scene cleanup, and I guess, you know, if someone sees a business owner sees a little dog poop, you know, they call and then we go clean it up. I haven't done any of that yet. Or blood. If there's a murder, if there's a suicide or anything like that, accidents, you know, my boss's company goes and cleans it up, man. So I'm grateful to have a job, man. So I'm driving all over Sacramento.
He's working hard. I think we're gonna go on Saturday. We're gonna try. We just want to keep James, aka Whack, healthy.
Yeah.
And so we'll probably go on Saturday about the same time. James, does that work for you? Like about 6 o'clock ish on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at this. Say goodbye.
Say goodbye. She's ready to say bye too.
Say goodbye, buddy. Say goodbye.
You guys all have a good night. Stay safe. Yeah. Thanks, Jason, as always.
I want to say
thanks, Tedford, also so much.
Thanks to the moderators. And I want to say goodnight to my homeboys down Dago and all our hard intentions people, man. Thank you for signing on and watching.
Good night, Roger.
Yeah.
I love it when you play Robin Trower, just so you know.
Stay safe and stay healthy. Thanks for watching.
Everyone just don't run out of gas.
Yeah. Don't run out of gas, right? Do it hard. Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. My phone's buzzing.